after virtualization. Clear? Now, so once we do this, we need to create what? Virtual machines. Now what I'm trying to do is, I'm going to create a virtual machines now. I'll pick up the Windows 7 as a virtual machine. Now the same server, so I'll keep Windows 7. So Windows 7 I'm creating a virtual machine. So keep the CD. Keep the CD in the server. Okay, now let's create a VM, new VM. It will ask you what kind of OS. Windows 7 32-bit. Next. No, 32. Next. Okay, keep it Windows 7 32-bit only. Next. Drive is we need to have it from the server. So boot from this. Yes, that's fine. Give it a drive. Next. Okay, next. Now I need to give what is the RAM I require. Let's say that I give only 1 GB. 1024. Windows 7. End to the RAM. 2 GB. Yeah, 2048. So processors, let's keep it. Total how many are there? 4 are there. So I give now 2. So how many will left out? 2 more left. That means I can create 1 more machine, right? Yes, no problem. But here, don't do 2048. Just minimize to 1024 plus 512. How much it comes? 512, 6, 1, 5. Yeah, just give 1, 5. Okay, next. So, how much we have created? 1.5 GB RAM, 2 CPUs, that is 2 cores. Now, take them to save. Next. Do it now. Now, go to this console. Yeah, let it come. When they will add now that VM. Creating, then you will add a VM. Click on that Windows 7. Yeah, go to console. Now you can see that Windows 7 is doing. Yes. So where it is running? It is running where? On the same box. So out of these 4 CPUs, what the virtualization does? It will pick up 2 CPUs. And total, we have a 4 GB RAM. It will allocate now what? Only 1.5 GB. Now hard disk, how much we have given as a hard disk? Space 20. Total compute we have taken. How much we have taken? Anybody remember? I can check that. Maybe 20 GB by default it will take. 20 GB hard disk or something. So if you have 40 GB, 40 GB if we have, so it would have picked up 20 GB. That means it is now able to create a machine with only 20 GB hard disk, with 1.5 GB RAM, with 2 CPUs. So that is what we call as logical partitioning. So what the virtualization does? Virtualization is basically the logical partitioning of the resources. That is what it does. Okay? Yeah, do that. So install. Now you see, now probably may be getting a question. Sir, but every time whenever I ask, is this the way to create a VM? Is this the way to create a VM every time? But whenever I set a request, somebody said, now I need Windows 8. But this is the way I should do every time? No. You know what it happens now? This one will be created as the template. This template is also called the golden image. So the 24 GB will be given, right? Total space, free space is 24 GB. Now let it go. It will take some 10 minutes. So by the time we continue the other part. Now the question is that every time we need to install it like this? No. Once we create a VM, this VM is converted as the template. Template is also called as the snapshot, or it is also called as the image. The image or snapshot of the template. So whenever you send a request, this template is used to create a VM. That is called as the cloning. It's a clone. So the cloning will take hardly 10 seconds. That we'll see. After the installation is done, I will show you how do we clone it. So the cloning will take hardly 10 seconds. So like this, if there are some 100 requests are coming from 100 operating systems of different kinds, how much it will take? Each one goes parallelly, and all 100 operating systems are created within 10 seconds. That is the beauty of the cloud, which you cannot get it from other technologies. which you cannot get from a cluster, which you cannot get from a grid, which you cannot get from any kind of the distributed operating systems. That's why these things are important. Even when you go to the public clouds and see, you know what these people will do? They create the templates of all the operating systems, of all the resources. It is not that every time they have to create a template and also put different things. No. Template is created on operating system. But when you want to change the parameters, parameters can be taken as the runtime. So template is Windows 7, template is Windows XP, template is RHEL, template is Fedora, template is Ubuntu, template is blah 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 blah. If I say Windows 7, you only pass the argument. These arguments are taken, it is given to the pool. The virtualization understands it. Go to the template, pick up, close, 10 seconds, deliver. That's how it is done. That is what these public clouds people will do on magic. And the same magic we also do. So this is how we could be able to create multiple systems which can run, which can deliver you the resources that we want. That is what we call as infrastructure as services. This is the virtualization part. Okay? Now after doing the virtualization, after creating virtual machines, we have now different kinds of operating system. That looks fine, good. But what is the ultimate use of them? We want to use them. But how do I use it? Is it just I have a virtual machine which I use it, which I take and just run? That's all it's over? I need to use now. How do I do? Now just see. Now to run, I just put you something like this. Let's say, for example, I designed the same PixArt program. Now my PixArt requires 100 machines of Windows 7. What I need? I need to put a request to the cloud saying that you give me the 100 resources. Yes, you got all the 100 resources. So how much time it will take hardly? 10 seconds. Each runs parallelly. 100 virtual machines are available for you 10 seconds. Good, fine, looks fine. Now my algorithm should run on all these 100 machines. But all these 100 machines are available on a single system? No. They are available on different things which are all distributed in an environment. Now I should be able to pick up my PixArt and modify such that I could be able to use or I could be able to exploit all these 100 resources. So that is what I need, a platform which can give me a flexibility or which will enable me to develop the applications which can run on all these virtual machines. So that is what is called as the platform as a service tools. Is it right? So that is what we will like platform as a service tools. So what I need to develop now? I need to develop the applications which can run on all these virtual machines. Let's say for example, my PixArt is running on 100 machines. So I want to say that, oh, I want another 50 machines to come. How do I get? So my platform should enable me to create another 50 machines. And I should be able to, automatically those workloads should be able to distribute to all those 150 machines. That means I could be able to use another 150 systems, or total 150 systems. So that is what the second layer comes. What is the layer? Platform as a service. So the next is we try to understand the platform as a service after the lunch break. Right? So for that we pick up Aneka as a tool to create platform as a service which can run on all these virtual machines and develop some applications which can run on all these virtual machines. Is it right? Right? So this is what the setup we have entire cloud. Now let's say you want to develop your own applications. How do? You can use setup of such kind and write applications which can deliver it to you. Okay? Now let's finish this installation. It will take another 5 minutes. So after that we'll run how do we create a snapshot, and after that how do we clone it. So for 2 machines, if I want to be, let's see that how much time it will take. Okay? So after that we'll wind up lunch break. So after that we'll assemble in the lab directly and see the platform as a service. Because platform as a service is more of what? Programming. So that we need to be in the lab. So have lunch. Go to lab and sleep. Okay. no sleep. Remember, I won't give you until unless you show me one program which you are able to execute on the cloud. If you are not writing any program, if you are not showing, I will not give you the certificates. At least you should show hello cloud. Okay.